If I had to describe Kim in one word, it would be giver. If you came by her house, you didn't leave hungry, right? She was always happy to give her time. She was a good listener, and she always made time to listen and to visit. And she was willing to give her advice, sometimes when you didn't even ask for it. And she loved to give gifts. She always gave the most perfect gifts, and when I look around my house today, I still have most of them, and of course I'll keep them forever now. But in addition to being generous, Kim also had a kind of kicking sense of humor, quirky, whatever you want to call it. I just want to tell you that story that I mentioned that describes what I think typifies Kim's generosity, her sense of humor, and our relationship when we were younger. Well, Kim and I exchanged gifts for many years, and especially gifts for the kids at Christmas. I thought I was a good gift giver too, but Kim didn't see it the same way. I remember that one year I got the kids musical instruments. I can't remember exactly who got what, but maybe Robin got a flute and Sean got a tambourine and Derek a drum. Well, about 2 days later she called me and says, "Penny Gay?" And everybody in the South knows that when you use your middle name you're in trouble. And of course this was no exception. Kim said, "Just listen to this," and held the phone up for like 5 minutes. The whole time this awful racket was going on in the house, you kids are beating on the drum, playing the flute, shaking the tambourine, marching through the house, singing at the top of your lungs, just having a grand old time. I thought it was hysterical. Kim did not. If I remember correctly, she slammed the phone down. And this would be a good time for Sean's kids to open their gift. Just put me on hold for a second. Of course, I'd forgotten about this by the time the next Christmas rolled around. I remember I got Robin a doll and the boys got little pen knives. Sure enough, a couple of days later, Kim called to tell me that not only had the boys cut Robin's doll up, but they cut themselves playing with the knives, and whatever in the world possessed me to get them to get knives. I swore to her I was just doing the best I could, but she just kept talking. "They're little boys. You don't give little boys knives." Kim, of course, had given Kelly a frilly little outfit or something like that. And which Kelly liked and Kim liked. And I don't know if you guys like your knives and doll or not, but Robin, did you give the boys their gift? If not, it's time to open them. Put me on hold. Well, fast forward to the next year. I thought long and hard about something that would be educational and that you wouldn't kill yourselves with or make a racket. And you know, what better than to give someone a pet? I know Kim was not a big fan of dogs and cats, so I went out and got one of those little octagonal fish aquariums and put a gift certificate in so you kids could go out and pick your own fish. Well, this time it took about 2 weeks before Kim called. I'd actually thought I'd escaped this year. No. I picked up the phone and Kim said, "Well, you really did it this time. What could I have possibly done wrong this time?" Come to find out, you went to the fish store and picked out 2 fish and a frog, and apparently one of the fish was carnivorous. Over a week or so, the bad fish ate the fins off the other fish, and Kim said that y'all would come running in from school every day to check your fish, and every day a little bit more of the little fish was gone. After it picked off the fins on the little fish, the bad fish started eating the legs off the frog. Apparently you guys were quite traumatized. Kim said the fish and frog were still alive, but one was laying on its side and they were both just floating around on top of the aquarium. I think she ended up flushing them all down the toilet. I told Kim that wasn't on me, but the guy at the fish store, who should have told you how the fish would interact, but she'd have none of it. It was my fault. Always, always my fault. Kennedy and Easton, if you haven't opened your presents, you might want to do that now. Put me on hold. Ah ha ha. I thought Derek would kick my rear if the kids got a fish tank, and I wanted to show you that I have grown up enough to get age-appropriate gifts now. I hope you like them. Anyway, fast forward to the next year. I had it all figured out. Kim would be happy if you all got clothes, so each one of you got a nice little top or suit or whatever. But Kim had other ideas for Kelly. She had been waiting all year she had vengeance on her mind, and when Kelly unwrapped her present, a big old white rat jumped out. Imagine my surprise. But Kelly loved that rat. She named it Beast. Most rats live 10 to 12 months. That rat lasted almost 3 years. grew tumors, and Danny would take it to the vet to have them taken out. After about a year, I'd get a phone call about once every 2 months from Danny. Well, Penny, that rat had more tumors. I took it. $170 at the vet for a rat. That happened more than once. I happened to witness this. Its little man parts swelled up, turned black, and fell off, much to everyone's horror. Talk about being traumatized. Anyway, when I called Kim, I just didn't call her by her second name, Kimberly Francine. She got all 3 names. Well, Kimberly Francine Smith. I didn't call her up to chew her out. I called her up to tell her she had won. I said, I'm done. You won. I give. And she just laughed and laughed and laughed. So I think we kind of quit changing gifts after that. But that is one story I have of Kim. She was generous. She had a sense of humor. But both of those traits are very secondary. So the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Kim, and that's family. What she cared for more than anything else in the world was her family. And when I look at Robin, Sean, Derek, and all the grandkids, I know she was the richest woman in the world. I know this Christmas isn't going to be like last Christmas, but I'm glad you guys have each other, and I know that you'll be holding Kim in your thoughts and your hearts, as I will too. So, love you guys. Have a Merry Christmas. Bye.